on schedule with our every Thursday now. Obviously not on schedule with our timing. We are here at 6:40. It is the drive at 5, but now we're at 6:40. Why are we doing that? Well, one of the things that I have been exploring is trying to understand why I tend to do better if I wake up a little later, and understanding what that means for me and how to be more effective. And today we're going to talk about your morning routine and things called chronotypes. So I think that's a very interesting thing that I don't completely understand. And I'm doing a little research on it, obviously with our handy dandy ChatGPT, until I can't use ChatGPT anymore and have to rotate over to Copilot or some other device or AI. Apologize if y'all get any background noise. They are using the leaf blower out on the square, trying to get it nice and cleaned up and pretty. They've been doing a lot of renovations here. But today we're going to talk about what it means to have a morning routine, why routines and habits are important, and how we can use those things to make our day more productive. So let's just kick it off with the general thing that we normally do, right? Which is we look at how can we improve our morning routine, or how can we use that to power our day. So when you're planning out your day, the best thing you can do in the morning is wake up at a consistent time. So pick the time that allows you to do the things you need to do. It doesn't have to be 4:30 in the morning. If you're not a morning person, you're not a morning person, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But you do not have to pick 4:30. It doesn't have to be 5:30. But give yourselves about 30 minutes. Just back it up from where you're at today. If you're feeling like your morning routine's not working, just back up about 30 minutes. That way, when you wake up in the morning, you got time to get your feet on the ground, resist the urge to look at your phone, look at your screen, those sorts of things. Take a minute to take a breath as you wake up. Reset the day, in and out. And then what I want you to do is go and get a sheet of paper and a pen and write down the 3 things, not 10, not 20, the 3 things that you need to accomplish that day. Now, if you're like me and you need to get those things out the night before so that you can actually sleep, that's okay too. But get your list together, the main things that you need to get in, the big rocks, as they say. And I don't know if anybody else has seen this illustration, but one of the greatest illustrations I've ever seen is guy took a mason jar. He had 3 rocks in front of him. He had a bag of sand, had some pebbles, and he asked the class that he was working with, which order would you put them in? And, of course, he got varied answers. And then he told the real answer, the best answer is the rocks are the big things in your life, family, God, maybe it's your job, whatever it was. But in this case, those are the 3 big tasks for you on a daily basis. Then the pebbles are the next most important task. You put those in second because you make sure the big things get in there first, 1. 2, those things will start to disperse inside of the jar, and you'll make room for more of those little things than if you poured in the sand and then threw the rocks on, you wouldn't get the big things in. So same thing for you as that principle. You want to focus on the 3 main things you need to get done each day. You can expand it to 4 or 5. I know some of you do a lot of important work, and you need to find a way to fit those things in. But take those 30 minutes, set up your day so that you're more prepared. And then what will happen as you get in a habit of waking up 30 minutes early, and truthfully, you should be doing it on the weekends. You should wake up at the same time on the weekends as you do during the weekdays so that you stay in the habit, just like your kids need it to stay organized through the summer. It's the same thing for you. I despise it. I probably will still have a struggle with doing it, but you need to set your routine, wake up the same time every day so that your body gets used to that and you can ultimately stick to it. And then one other thing that I've heard is a big tip. Before you go reaching for coffee, before you go reaching for your Spark energy drink, that's what I drink. Before you go get your Black Rifle, or your Reign or your Celsius, get a full glass of water, drink a full glass of water. It can be room temperature, can be cold. I prefer room temperature at that point because I don't want a stomach cramp, and I'm not like hot and sweaty. So, but take a full glass of water before you start drinking all the other things. You want to rehydrate yourself from your nighttime, your sleep. You do lose some water over the evening. But what I also want to talk to you about is if you're not a morning person, it may not be your fault. It's not laziness that causes you not to be a morning person. There's actually some studies out there, and I'm going to cite some of them just so you know that I'm not lying to you. There is a GWAS study. It's a large-scale GWAS study. That's a genome-wide association study. And in this study, they studied over 697,000 individuals and identified 351 genetic loci associated with being a morning person. So it is true that there are people that have a preference for the morning and a preference for the evening, eveningness and morningness. And so genetic studies show that it is associated with your genotype, and they call it your chronotype, is your tendency to operate better in the evening or operate better in the morning. So do not feel lazy or bad about the fact that you may operate better in the evening than you do in the morning. With that said, I found when we were doing the show 5 days a week, and I was waking up at 4:30, 4:45 and trying to do this at 5:30, I was great for the first 3 hours and then miserable for about 4 hours afterwards. And so it really was not working for me doing the show because it doesn't pay the bills. And then trying to be as effective as I needed to be. Now, my work didn't slip in terms of I still got my work done, but my acuity and energy were a little lower than I wanted them to be. And so you will notice I want to push this show to 6 o'clock or sometime a little later that fits better with my chronotype, which I tend to operate way better at night than I do during the day. But with everybody else's schedule in my life, it fits better if I do this in the morning. But that's to say, you can still set a morning routine. Pick the 3 tasks that you want to do. Make sure you drink your water. Wake up in the morning. Take some time to yourself. Pray. Read your Bible. Meditate if you want. And take a moment to just set yourself up for a successful day. Don't go like I do from time to time and turn on a YouTube video. No. Take some time away from the screen, away from life. Take a deep breath. Set those three big tasks, and then start your day. And I think you'll see if you try this for a week, you'll notice yourself being more successful. Because a lot of times we don't think. Sometimes we just do. We go to go brush our teeth. We go wash our face. We go get in the shower. All right, we're ready. Okay, now we're making breakfast. Okay, now we're getting the kids out the door. Okay, now we're going to work. Now we let our emails dictate what we do because we see a really hot email and we're like, oh, got to get that done. Got to do this. Got to do that. I think the key is being intentional in setting up your day for what you want to accomplish and you need to accomplish, and you'll be a lot more successful. And with that, let's go to the verse of the day. So the verse of the day today is Psalms 5:3. In the morning, Lord, you hear my voice. In the morning, I lay my request before you and wait expectantly. And here is another thing that you can do. Give your first fruits to God, including your morning first thoughts in the morning, the things you wake up to. Take the time, say a prayer. When you're writing down those tasks, write down any thoughts you have, journal with you and God. It's okay. Spend that time with him. And by giving him your morning, you're going to be more, your heart is going to soften by praying. And you're just going to set yourself up for a better day because your mindset is right. So let's summarize it. Write down your 3 tasks. Give the morning to the Lord. In order to do that, you got to make a little room. So plan ahead to wake up a little earlier not too early if that's not your chronotype. If you're not a morning person, that's okay. And then take a big drink of water, maybe a whole cup, before you start into your coffee and your energy drinks. And you'll rehydrate your body and feel a little better physically to go along with all these things you're doing to feel better mentally and spiritually. With that, I love you all. I appreciate y'all, coming in, spending 10, 15 minutes with me each day to get ready for your day and to do the things that I hope help you have a better life or lead a more fulfilled life. I give a lot of advice out on this show. I'll be honest with you. You know that I can't take all of my own advice. I try to take these things and implement them in my life. Try not to focus on the things I can't control, all those things. But you're not going to get it perfect. You're not going to get it right the first time, and that's okay. Let's build better habits. Let's build a better routine, and then that'll make us a better person and make us more successful to have a more fulfilled life. Main things: keep God first, and then everything else, comes after that. He's the first big rock you need to get in your life. And I wanted to just set the standard for the show. That's kind of the end of the show. But what we're going to be doing going forward is a once-a-week show on Thursday mornings. I can't promise it's going to be 5:45. It's going to be somewhere between, 5:30 and 6 o'clock, or in that hour time frame. It's going to depend on all the life events I've got. We may eventually get to where we pre-record the show. I am going to list out all the topics for the remainder of the year. I'll be setting those up as events so that if you want to come in and join, you can. And we will be getting, some sponsors on the show as well, just so that you can support some of the folks that will end up supporting us. And so I appreciate everything and anybody who tunes in and listens to me. If you got topics, you got ideas, you got thoughts, throw them out in the comments. Like, subscribe, all the things that people say in these kinds of videos. But the main thing is that we love you guys. We want everybody to be a more successful, intentional, and fulfilled person tomorrow than they were today. And if we can do our part to help that in any way, that's what we're trying to do here at the H2 Show and with the Drive at 5, sometimes 6. But as they say, I can't spend all day with you. It's been real, and it's been fun, and it has been real fun. With that said,